Cairo fears that a Turkish military presence in Gaza would expand Ankara's regional influence and threaten its own security along the border, especially as Saudi Arabia and the UAE are said to be quietly backing Turkey's involvement. Instead, Egypt is proposing a trade-off: no Turkish troops, but a bigger Turkish role in Gaza's reconstruction. Well, joining us now is Mariam Wahba, research analyst at the Foundation for Defense of Democracies. Mariam, what is really driving Egypt's push to keep Turkey out of Gaza? Is this about security? Is this about politics? Or is it just about pride?
Great to be with you today. Look, I think it's an unhealthy mix of security, politics, and pride. We've just begun to understand the Turkey Egypt relationship after about 2 or 3 years of rapprochement. Obviously, Egypt and Ankara have a tenuous relationship given Turkey's history of harboring, protecting, funding the Muslim Brotherhood, many of which have uh, arrived in Ankara after the Arab Spring, looking for refuge from the Egyptian crackdown on the Muslim Brotherhood. So, when it comes to understanding Egypt's refusal to let Ankara take a larger role onto the Gaza post-war scenario, I think there's going to be a lot to unpack. What exactly are Ankara's goals? Do they seek to achieve them? And are they going to step on Egypt's toes in any meaningful way?
How does Washington view this growing tug of war between two key regional players?
Great question. I think there's going to be a lot for Washington to balance. Obviously, Turkey is a NATO ally, while Egypt is the cornerstone of Washington's Middle East policy. It has been for decades now. And I think while those relationships are divorced, I think what we're going to see play out in the next few days and weeks is Washington trying to reconcile how to deal with Egypt's requests when it comes to keeping Ankara at bay. And look, there's more nuance to this than I can explain in a couple of seconds, but Egypt has sought Ankara's support in other parts of the world. For example, we know that there's unconfirmed reports of Ankara and Egypt working together on the situation in Sudan, just on Egypt's border. So I think it's not only going to be a trick for Washington to figure out how to deal with these two separate relationships as they begin to see each other in a more divisive way, but I think Egypt and Ankara are still figuring out how to deal with each other under these new pretenses.